Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Serrano. Welcome back to the crew. If you're new, do me a quick favor, hit both the like and the subscribe button, as well as the bell icon on your way in. But if you're already a part of the crew, salute. Today we're going to be comparing two devices, the OnePlus N100 and also the Samsung Galaxy A12. And both of these devices are very similar because they're going to be coming at a similar price point, but not only that, similar specs, which range in the budget entry-level price point at, they have a lot of things in common. So we're going to compare both of these devices, and you can see I do have my Poetic Revolution case with the kickstand on both of these devices right now. Now, what I like about both of these devices is that both OEMs and manufacturers seem to get a really good job when it came to the materials used. On the back of the Nord, which belongs over here, we do have a satin-like finish. It's a matte finish, almost like a satiny finish to it. It gives you a really soft, almost like a powdery feeling when you touch it. And then on the right, we actually get on the A12 kind of a vinyl finish. Kind of gives you some grip, and you can get like a texture to it when you rub your finger on there. But then you get a dual layer, which also has that powdery finish that I was talking about on the OnePlus N100. But when it comes to the weight of both devices, we're gonna get really good weight on these things. 205 grams of weight on the Samsung Galaxy A12, and then on the left, we do have 188 grams of weight on the OnePlus N100. So they're both gonna feel really good in the hand, and you're also gonna notice that the A12 does not have a fingerprint sensor on the back of there, but we do have that on the back of the N100. But you can see the camera setups that we'll get into in a little bit more detail. But when it comes to both these devices, we do have a 5,000 milliamp hour battery on both of these guys, and that means that we're gonna get about 2 days or so, depending on how you use your device on a day-to-day basis. But both of these devices do look really good. Let's talk about the overall build. And you can see we do have OnePlus logo right in the center, and then on the right we have the Samsung logo down below. Well, actually just the print and the OnePlus print. The flash is located in the camera, and we'll get into the cameras in a little bit more detail. We also do have a rear flash on the A12 as well. Turning them to the right, that's where we're getting a fingerprint sensor for the A12. And first I have to unlock it, right, because it just turned on. So it says starting Android and everything like that. So one thing you will notice is that we do have that rear fingerprint sensor on the OnePlus N100, which is actually operating very quickly. And I really do like this device, right? We're also getting a 90 hertz refresh rate. We'll get into that in just a second, but let me just wait for the A12 to power on and things like that. So we're gonna go ahead and wait for these devices to basically, come on. But here it is right here, and you can see that as far as the displays, we are having similar displays, HD+ displays on both of these devices. So I just kind of want to throw that out there. 6.52 inch on the OnePlus Nord, and on the OnePlus Nord, you're gonna notice that we do have some really cool scrolling speeds because of that 90 hertz refresh rate, and everything like that. So it's gonna flow really nicely when it comes to the overall speeds and everything like that. So I definitely like it for just operating on a regular basis, and you will be able to get to your windows for your Chrome and everything like that. It will navigate pretty nicely, and the A12 definitely has a really good speed as well. We'll get into the processing chips on both of these devices right now, but the displays are worth mentioning first. And we also do have a TFT LCD IPS 19:5:9 aspect ratio with the 720 by 1560 HD+ display on the A12 on this guy. So it's definitely going to be pretty decent decent viewing angles, 264 pixels per inch, medium density water drop notch at the top, which it kind of forms into like a V-like shape. And on the OnePlus Nord, we're actually getting that smooth refresh rate, like I said before, Gorilla Glass 3, which is going to be really good for protection. We're also getting, like I said, a hole punch notch on the left-hand side, which is going to house the camera, as well as scratch resistance. See, you're also getting a decent pixels per inch, 247, which is medium density, 720 by 1440, HD plus 20 by 9, as well as an LCD IPS display, 6.52 inch display on here. Now the OnePlus Nord N100 actually has a really decent, processing chip. It's gonna be the Snapdragon 460, and it's gonna have a gyroscope on here, as you can see when you move the phone around. You get that gyroscope. You also do get stereo speakers, which is actually pretty cool. So the sound quality of this device is gonna sound really good. And I definitely think that's something that's really sweet about this device when you're using it. So I definitely think that's something that just you want to put out there. We're also getting 4 GB of RAM on this thing, coupled with the other 64 gigs of internal memory. So you're definitely going to be able to get some really good usage out of this thing as well when it comes to overall performance. But I could definitely say that they did a really good job when it came to this budget phone for the price and everything that you're paying. It's not going to be too bad considering the price point and the processing chip. It didn't lag or anything. I was getting some pretty decent, gaming performance out of this thing, and I kind of like the scrolling speeds. It might stutter every once in a while, but I just kind of want to throw it out there that there is some pretty decent performance on this guy. Now on the Samsung Galaxy A12, we are actually getting a software update on this thing that I just want to kind of throw that out there real quick, and it's the May 1st security software that they're launching out right now. Now on the A12, we're not actually getting a gyroscope, we're getting an accelerometer, a proximity sensor, as well as a light sensor on this guy. We also do have 64 GB of RAM, 64 GB of RAM coupled with 4 GB of RAM. The Power VR GE8320 is running the GPU, and as far as the CPU, it's the MediaTek Helio P35 MT6765, which is a 14 nanometer, whereas we're getting that 460, the Snapdragon 460, which is an 11 nanometer processing chip. So you can see that it had decent amount of performance because of that 4 GB of RAM on here, and it's definitely doing a good job pushing the graphics. There might be a little bit of dimming, screen dimming, depending on what angle you throw it at, but you could definitely get a decent amount of playtime on here when it comes to gaming because of that 5,000 milliamp hour battery, and also running the show is the large amount of RAM, which is the 4 GB of RAM for this price point is actually pretty decent. So I definitely can say that they did a decent job with that. I do also like the fact that both of these devices do have that double tap to wake. So you can definitely double tap them, wake them up, and you get that ambient display on both of these devices, which is pretty cool. Both of these things just have a really nice touch when it comes to the overall user interface. It's definitely going to be pretty easy to use and navigate when it comes to these devices and everything of that nature. So I definitely think that they did a pretty good job when it came to, customizing these devices. You do get those magazine wallpaper, screen lock wallpapers on the Samsung device. As you can see right here, you could choose between food, desserts, and things of that nature. And as far as the security on both of these devices, we do get that fingerprint and facial ID on both of these things. So you will get that every single time when you try to unlock the device. You will get that, which is pretty cool, so you don't have to use your finger as a secondary option on these budget devices. You also do get the fingerprint sensor, right? Those things are actually pretty quick, the side one and the rear one. So they definitely unlock the phone at a reasonable amount of time. We do get an extra animation on the Samsung, which makes it a little bit slower compared to the OnePlus N100. Taking a look at the camera setups on both of these budget devices, which are really cool for the money. We're also getting a 48 megapixel on the Samsung A12, which is crazy. It's a Samsung camera, their very own, as well as a wide angle 5 megapixel. And we also do get a 2 megapixel for portrait and a 2 megapixel telephoto lens on this guy. Now, on the OnePlus, we're getting a 13 megapixel standard, and then on the 2 megapixel for the macro and a 2 megapixel for portraits. Now on the front of both of these guys, we are getting an 8 megapixel, and I just kind of want to show you the camera software that both of these things do have to offer as well. And like I said, they both have the same capacity of battery. And you can see right here, we also do have that telephoto mode, which comes in handy with the A12, like I said before. And they do give you an easy way to go zoom in and out. So I definitely think that's pretty cool how you can change lenses. On the OnePlus Nord, you can zoom in up to 6 times, which is definitely pretty cool. And you do get up to 10 times on this guy, which is really crazy because they give you that telephoto lens, right? So just a lot of features on these things. And let's just take a look at, you do get portrait on both of these things. If you switch it to more, you're gonna see we have the macro camera on both of these guys, right? And they also did include some other options for the camera to customize the pictures. We get time lapse on the Nord N100, and we don't have that on the, the A12. They do give you something called Deco Pick, which is kind of cool to play around with, to be 100% honest with you. But we don't have anything like that on this guy. So you can kind of mess around with it, and it does give you different options to put on your face and things of that nature. So that's pretty cool. And you can also add other stickers on here in case you didn't want to use the ones that did come on this guy. Like I said before, both of these things do give you some pretty smooth performance. So I just kind of want to throw out there that the A12 does have Android 11 and the N100 does have Android 10. So you will be getting software updates on both of these devices. And we do actually have a new software update for the Samsung, and they're pushing it out right now. When it comes to the N100, we don't have any updates right now at this very moment. But when we go into security and we check for the updates available in security, we do have the May 1st on here. So they're both pretty much almost at the same, but at security right here, you do see that we're at May, which is different. But if I had to wrap it up and tell you which one to buy, I could definitely say that both of these devices do a really good job. We are getting some really good display for the price with the 90 Hertz refresh. It does tend to hiccup every so often, but it's a lot brighter than the A12 on this guy because it's a TFT LCD display, which is a little bit dimmer when it comes to viewing angles. So I definitely could say that this one on the left, the N100, does get a little bit brighter. We also do get really good batteries optimization on both of the softwares on both of these devices as well. And the OnePlus Nord does have really good battery optimization as well as charging speeds as well, right? When it comes to cameras, both of these devices will offer some pretty entry-level features, right? We're not gonna get like anything crazy on these guys. We do get 1080 recording, so you will need like a gimbal if you want to record on both of these things, because the A12 does actually have some better stabilization when it comes to recording. We do get full HD, 30 frames per second as well for video. And we also do get that telephoto camera, just to throw that out there. So it's really nice. And for the price, it's gonna deliver some pretty cool performance. So I could definitely say that both of these things do a pretty decent job when it comes to the overall cameras and how they perform for the budget price point. When you put them in some decent lighting, they're gonna do a really good job for the money that you're gonna be spending. So I definitely can say that both of these devices are worth the money, but let me know which one you think is more worth the money. We do have that Snapdragon 460 versus the Helio P 35 on this guy. So let me know which one you think would perform better over time and through updates overall, build quality and everything like that, cameras and everything like that, performance and all that included. But I'm gonna see you guys in the comment section, and I'll get right back with you later, group. Peace.